My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't riding. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound to surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like what? Whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want.
And, Coach, we come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Cleveland Browns. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Mayfield on the bootleg. He's got a man complete. It's a gain of 34. Well, there's a pretty big start right there. They go bombs away on the first play from scrimmage.
Put a smile on your face, didn't it? Not because you're rooting for anyone, but that's the way to begin a game, to put someone back on their heels and announce that they plan to be aggressive.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Blue draw Porkers.
I got one. Mark 50.
Now Mayfield. That's taken in by Callaway. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. Mayfield tosses one complete to Landry. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 21. A first down throw from Mayfield. That's going to be caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Going to run the jet sweep. Callaway with it. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
20. Real. Use the mic. You must be dreaming. Check.
Mayfield looks to throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Carl Joseph came roaring in on the safety blitz. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Escaping the pressure right. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 7 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
I do believe we came here to see a game, didn't we? And it looks like he's running what we call routes versus air. You just go out there with your offensive unit and throw the football with no defense. He's 5 for 5 on the opening drive.
He was on his game there for drive number 1, but my only thing is now he can't go any higher than that. He was so perfect. Can he do it again later?
Yeah, all he cares about right now is making it 10 for 10, 15 for 15.
Keeping that going.
And he feels like he can get it done.
Boston Scott, his first carry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Raider first down, 17 yards. Successful toss play to the right there. It's interesting. Teams seem to run the toss a lot more to the right than to the left.
It's usually a little more natural. Right-handed quarterback, typically your power side running the ball is to the right side with your guard and your tackle. In college football, they used to call it student body right because you had everyone on that side, including a fullback leading. In the pros, they don't call it that, but it's still the same result.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jacobs. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson.
Yeah, baby.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Chopper.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll drop the throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack. And that's what I'm seeing so far.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
He's coming. Double up, double up.
They go with Chubb on second down, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them.
Just wanna be her for your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like what? Whole squad like yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke. You don't want problems. No, I say you don't want problems. You don't want smoke. Father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound us around me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like what? Whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I say you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Cleveland Browns. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. First down, Mayfield. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
They go play action here on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Trying to get it to Landry there, and it's second down.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
On second down, Mayfield again. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's Mayfield. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. That'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. He was looking for Landry that time. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. 90, roll. We got to get the ball. Can you get the ball right here? Let's go. Check 43. SOS. Ready, go.
They'll run on first down. It's Scott. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6.
Let's see what you got. Ready.
Second and 6. Over the middle, complete. It's Jacobs. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 29-yard line.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
On first down, Scott. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's second and 8. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a third and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is Moncrief for the catch. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And this one is right down the middle. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. On 4th down, the Browns hand things over to the veteran Britton Colquitt to punt. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. He'll look to throw. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
And the Raider 1st down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. 56. Mike, 56.
Back to throw. Moncrief brings it in. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Dante Moncrief. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards, a first down. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And an alley to run. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw, Mayfield. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. McManus's point after is good, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Derrick Henry, and he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here we go. Set. 60 Pittsburgh. Got you. I got you. Hey, alert 3. Alert 3. Check 99. Check 99. Wild. 64. Weak. Shoot. Slip. Gone. Ready to go.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10.
58, come on. Check Mike. Regular. I got it.
Mayfield on 1st down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Okay.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now back to throw. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Here's the Raiders punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Hey, alert, 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 alert.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Check, pistol. Check, hot route. Hurry. Hey, wahoo! Run. Crash.
Play fake. Mayfield. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Here we go.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now a give right side. It's Scott. Oh, he's got some breathing room. 22 yards there, a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 46. Now it's Henry. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
They're going to look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jacobs. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run with Henry. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
56, Mike, 56, right there, 56.
2nd and 5. It's caught by Moncrief. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Dante Moncrief, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will be a touchback. That sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
It's our field. Hey, Award 33.
Mayfield down. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Carl Joseph. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Ready, break.
Spike 56. Here we go. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Henry. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And down to the 28-yard line. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 25-yard line.
On the
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
66. Throw it high. Check, you're out.
Check. Fresno. Ready. 1, 2, 1.
He's got the first down inside the 10. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. A try here for the extra point. And that is the definition of yards after catch. They go short on the pass, and the receiver does the rest.
Seems so harmless, doesn't it? To throw it underneath, a short pass like that. But, boy, it gets dangerous in the hands of the right receiver as he makes a move and takes it the distance.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They run. Chubb. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to make it 4th down. Mayfield to throw it. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive? And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th.
180. Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
A first down throw for Mayfield to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
132 fighter.
Mayfield on 3rd and 2 toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Real.
4th down, Mayfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And they'll be down just outside of the end zone at the 1-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Now, that turnover might just about do it. Here, 4th quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Give the tackle there to Morgan Burnett. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Jacobs. The football comes out. Jacobs lost it. And this is picked up by the Browns. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a Rembrandt, but they've been mistake-free to this point and finally cough it up. I don't think it's going to cost them the game. They should be fine. But, boy, they're going to hate that, going back and watching tape and being able to say we were that close to achieving our goal of 0 turnovers during the game.
A little blemish, but as you say, still comfortably in command. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They go play action. Mayfield. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. On 3rd down, Mayfield. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Go. Hey, alert 33.
Now Mayfield on 4th down. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Raider D, they get the football back. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 15-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go. Check 26.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
First down, Raiders.
Let's go now, let's go now, let's go now. 8, read. Shit. Check three. Hard. Spawn. Let's go.
They'll run on first down. Scott. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive a coach crazy.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick-6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick-6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
The run on first down gets them a couple up to the 27. Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Check 13. Check 13.
Check 4.
And go.
Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Yes.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56.
On 3rd down, Henry. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as he'll drop him for a loss of 4. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. They'll try the right side with Henry. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. The Raiders on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And give him a gain of 37.
I'm not sure this is how they had it drawn out on paper, But this is going to work out for them and then some, right? They've got a big chunk they got to pick up. They decide to check it down, and he just turns into a pure athlete and makes a huge play for them.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Set, ready. 60 out front. Here we go, here we go.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
It's a loss of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee.
A loss of a yard brings up 4th down.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this from 34. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And this, not always an easy proposition, Charles. You had a West Coast team that traveled east, but they got the job done.
And there's so much that goes into it because your body time and your body clock different from what you're used to west, because if you go east, you're going to lose up to 3 hours, right? So is your body going to be awake when it's time to play? A lot of teams actually rehearse it. They practice it. Maybe the week of the game, they move everything up to that time frame so guys get used to doing it that way. I remember when I played at Tennessee, when we had to go from east to west, our trainer Tim Karen said, leave your watches on East Coast time. Every piece of information we got was East Coast Standard Time. Try to psychologically tell us what to do, as well as prepare our bodies the same way.
So for Oakland, they move back over 500 now at 4-3, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they drop just their 2nd game so far as they fall to 5-2, and they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens.